Saniac Monster Truck, and you're watching Sagebrush Soul. Perfect?
That'll be good. Hey everybody, I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul coming to you from the future. Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's May Day here, and we're going back to the end of March, 1st of April. I've talked about how many crazy things we got going on. Finally having a chance to take a breath here in Lake Havasu City. We've done shows. We did the Washington State Fair. That video's coming up. I didn't really vlog anything from Kennewick. Maybe I'll throw a montage together for that. Check out the T-Ray YouTube channel. I think some stuff will be coming out there. But we're in Lake Havasu City. This is one of the few chances we get to take a pause in a crazy busy schedule. Skylar and Brittany always get us a nice house down here with a pool. And Brittany is over there in the sun. You're welcome. And Skylar, well, he's indisposed at the minute. We're getting ready to go down and help start building the track, but this isn't about that. And I'm probably not going to be vlogging this show. I've already showed you Lake Havasu City. I'm going to relax and enjoy this and try to get caught up on editing all the footage that I've already shot. But jumping into the Crush Cup Trophy, we started off, they wanted a very clean approach to it for the Washington State Fair. It's a new thing that'll be happening, and I'm going to wait till the end to let you find out who the winner of it was. Just so you know, we started off with a few spare parts that Skylar had laying around, some cool pistons and connecting rods, and a planetary gear out of Cheap Shot Reloaded. We still don't know where the pistons came from, but they're pretty awesome looking. A Hot Wheels truck that I bought and reconfigured. Anyway, let's go back in time to a much cooler place. I started this thing at home and started sanding on it. I need to mask off the windshield though before I scratch it all to hell, which would be very realistic, and I'm kind of going for that look, but I need to get all these high spots off. If you look, you can actually see the textures that catches the light, but I've got to get that all smoothed down. So I don't have to necessarily take it down to metal, nor do I want to, but probably will in some places, so we'll hit it with an etching primer just to make sure it's going to sit on top of that trophy. It's not going to get like play or anything like that, but I do want the finish to last. So we got a couple tools here at the shop that I didn't have at home that I'm going to see if I can use to save a little time on that. So first things first, we're going to do a little taping on this guy. I don't really have model size tape here. I have bus size tape. It looks like a double. That's probably going to be problematic because apparently in my absence somebody got into my razor blades. Or the more likely answer is that I moved them and forgot where I put them. I don't want 2 layers of tape on that, and I think I got at least 2, maybe 3. Okay, that didn't. This is bad. I'm gonna forget to turn the video camera back on once I get this fixed. I'm gonna go find some more tape. All right, so you can see I had a double thickness going on there. And fun fact, I think I remember dropping a grinder on that when I was actually doing a real monster truck body, the Boss, when I was airbrushing the grill. But this will be better, I hope. And I usually like to do this with just a straight up razor blade because they're so much sharper, even though they're a little awkward to hold. Sharp is much more critical. No control. I would take that out, but it's got these rivets in there, and I could hot glue it or something like that, but I just worry about it falling out. And I would have eliminated the windshield, other than the front body mount is part of the windshield plastic, so that's a little problematic. Just a little thing I've discovered over the years of whether it's a full-size car or a little car or your house or your dog, if you're masking it off, make sure and trap these little wild ends, because inevitably those are going to get in your way of your spray. So always make sure you got all your ends there. Make sure they can't flop around. Even with a spray can, it'll You'd be surprised at how much air will move that around. All right, now to see if I can save a little time on getting those that paint off there. This is basically a scuff pad on a stick. I don't know what grit this is. I can't remember what I bought it for. But I'm hoping that it'll get in the nooks and the crannies and all the other things. But I'm going to wind up doing a primer coat on this and trying to even that out a little bit more even. A little bit more even. I'm pretty sure watching sanding is equivalent to watching ice melt. So you see the process. I'll pick you up on the next step. All right, sorry about the change in audio. I didn't want to mic up for this, but oh, I got a little spot I got to hit right there. But I kind of got up in these areas. I know I'm going to get paint. I'm probably going to want to wind up painting all of that, the body color, and we voted on red is what we've decided is going to be the base color. And then I've got the other graphics, but I think I'm going to do a preliminary blow the dust off. I'm going to hit it with some wax and grease remover and then hit a primer coat on it. So the reason I picked this body is it's kind of nondescript and it's a common body with the monster trucks. I didn't want to do anything that looked too much like any one of the trucks that are going to be competing for the trophy. And it looked like it'd be easy to do, but I'm having a heck of a time getting in these with all the tools that I got. Even, I don't know, I might have to bust out the Dremel and see if I can get something done with that, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a primer and see if it works. There is gonna be a decal over that section that I printed, a watermark decal, but every time that I think I'm done, I keep finding little spots like this guy right here, right above the tip of my thumb, that I can't quite get into, and it's still got a little bit of texture to it, but hopefully the primer will fill that in, and we'll see. But the grill also gonna be a little problematic. I don't know why that I am putting as much into this paint job as a show car for the monster truck asphalt. I mean, guys, but I want it to last. I want it to be coveted. Sorry to keep you clear over there, but I got enough camera problems as it is. I don't want to be getting paint on them. Yeah, because there's exposed metal, I'm using a etching primer, and that's a total lie. That's just all the primer I have in the shop. I'm about out of this and I don't want to go get more. We're gonna let it dry really good, see what I missed. Hopefully I can just hit it with some probably 600 grit. And when I went to Hobby Lobby, they were out of, I wanted to get Testors paint. It seems to be a little thinner for models and it lays down a lot nicer, including the clear coat, especially over decals, but struck out, no red paint, no gloss, clear coat. Oh, I see a run forming, great. But anyway, I think we can make it work with the Rust-Oleum, and I know I've got some red base clear back there. So like it would be a car paint job on this, and that'd be stupid to do. Even though it's one of my strong points, I'm trying real hard not to put off painting that monster truck till tomorrow. Like I say, we got a lot going on. I got a lot of things to get done. So to try to keep me from wanting to sand on that before it's dry, because I think I got to run in it, and I'm using a primer as a filler that isn't really designed to be a filler, I'm gonna hurry and tack this thing together. So you've seen this part of it, the pistons and the planetary gear. This is at a cheap shot, and we still haven't figured out exactly where these connecting rods and pistons are from. Could have been John Force's car, just saying. I don't know. They may have come out of your car. I don't know. But Burke went on the hunt for a flex plate. I was thinking that we were gonna wind up with something rusty, because we don't want this again to be a pile of junk. We want something we're able to polish up a little bit. I want to clear coat it, make it look good. He brought me a brand new flywheel, and apparently I don't know him, but there's a guy that does transmissions here in Idaho Falls. Burke went and said, hey, I need like a 8 to 10 inch flywheel. Went back in the back, gave it to him. Burke's like, I didn't want a brand new one. And Randy said, I'll never use that. So we got a nice flywheel that's gonna make a great base for this, even though the planetary is good. It's not too heavy because this thing already weighs a fair amount. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack this on to pass the time while I wait for that to dry before I have to get cleaned up, because the radio station again is gonna be here in about an hour and 45 minutes. And that's the Wolf here in Idaho Falls. Yep. If you ever wondered why Vice Grip Garage calls it the cheek poker, that's why. Ouch. Those things are the worst and the best ever. All right, so my next challenge is, these are little things that I 3D printed I got one on the back and one on the front. But I need to figure out how to, I can't tell if that's right side up, but I need to figure out how to get this red. I'd love to leave that white. I'm gonna try a technique where I put some spray paint on something and push that down on. See if that gets the job done. If not, I'm gonna wind up spray painting the whole thing red and then clear coating it and then coming back in and pushing. I'm probably gonna go with just craft paint, some white latex paint in there. Then I'm gonna have to let that dry really good and then clear coat it again. Ideally, it'd be nice to have like a spongy or rubber, like a stamp surface. This is all I got, is a 2x4. So I'm gonna really soak this down with some Rust-Oleum Apple Satin. The end result is not gonna be satin. I'm gonna hit it with a gloss clear coat after it's done. So I'm gonna try this, see if I can get it to work. If not, we'll go the other route and just shoot them red, then follow up with white. I don't know if that's gonna push the paint up. Nope. Bad idea. I'm gonna get that off of there. Probably gonna let that kick and hit it with a couple of coats, just for the simple fact of it does have a little texture in it, and if I can't wipe the white all the way off of it, then I can sand it down. So I'm gonna get plenty of paint on those. And fun fact, when I 3D printed these, if you're into 3D printing, I'll make it quick, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, don't worry about it. But to get a nice smooth surface on the bottom, I actually flipped the design over, and the surface of this is the printer bed, so I didn't get any, I don't know if you call them striations or whatever, but even though it does have that texture in the letters, it actually adds to it, I think. So it doesn't quite look 3D printed on that. It looks, by the time we get done, it's gonna look like either a epoxy type badge or maybe even a metallic emblem, but we're gonna really give it the treatment to make it not look like a 3D printed piece. Well, I got the truck and the pucks, or whatever you wanna call them, the emblems, in the warmest place in the shop right now. Hopefully they'll dust off, but for the next couple hours I'm gonna be tied up. Radio station just got here, The Wolf here in Idaho Falls. Listen, every Monday through Friday you can hear me on the radio, and you can listen online at right here, because I can't remember the website right now. I think it's The Wolf Idaho. Just go with this, and you can do that wherever you're at in the world. Did my quick change, got my nice pants on. Still got the same old boots on, but we're gonna go out. I'll show you what's going on in the parking lot. They're getting set up right now, and then pipes and drums are coming. The Idaho Falls Fire Department fundraiser, St. Patrick's Day every year, around St. Patrick's Day, because it's on a Sunday this year. They're gonna be performing here in a minute, so stick around for a sweet treat.
So introduce the Buzz Factory. What we got going on?
Perfect. Hey everybody, I'm Skyler with the Buzz Factory. Today we've got our Buzz Factory radio kickoff party with 96.1 and 102.1 The Wolf. Shaggy's here with the pick. We're ready to rock this place. Starts at 4 o'clock. We're going till 6. We've got so much free stuff to give away. We got simulator times, karaoke lounge times, axe throwing lanes, t-shirts, hats, hoodies. We got the whole deal. Okay, everything's free today. So come on in, check it out. We're gonna have the games going on. We got some cornhole in the back room. We're gonna give you guys a quick tour, show you the stage, show you the house. So you guys can check this out. It's pretty cool.
Let's do it. Give us the tour.
Here we go.
I don't know why you're on that side. For real. Come over here.
This is my buddy Don
Hey.
Jarrett. He, as far as radio goes, he's been our guy here in Idaho Falls forever. In fact, one of the early monster truck
Yeah.
shows that I did, you actually came to announce that with me.
Little production,
And,
baby.
We had so much fun. But Don is now with the Wolf, and he's been taking care of us. This is what's been going on all day. But this is where Buzz Factory Radio is happening, 7 to 10, or no,
6 to 10, Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday on the Wolf. And man, we got killer music. If you're like me, close your ear, Don, but the new country isn't doing it for me, but this playlist is going to be epic. A little bit of the good new stuff mixed in with a lot of the classics.
Like if you remember going to the clubs in the 90s, that's kind of where I started doing, like, you know, club DJing and all of the line dancing and stuff like that. And you guys do country line dancing and dance nights here at the Buzz Factory. It's kind of like that. We play a lot of exclusive like club mixes and live versions of like 90s dance music, fully curated playlist. It's basically the soundtrack for the actual Buzz Factory on the radio. I mean, this place is so fun and exciting. It needed 4 hours of fun and exciting music on the radio as a companion to what you guys got going on here at the Buzz Factory. So yeah, Buzz Factory Radio, Monday through Saturday, 6 to 10 on the Wolf.
Where do they listen online?
That's good. That's good, man.
Where do they
keep that up?
Listen online though? Because they got a lot of viewers.
Yeah, you can just go to wolfidaho.com. You can download our app as well. Tune in. You can ask Alexa to play us. Yeah, you can't escape. So
we got you.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got you.
that's right.
All right. Thanks, Don.
You bet. Thanks, Kenny.
We got Shaggy here too with the pick.
All right.
A lot going on here.
Oh,
man.
straight up, yeah. We're loving the Buzz Factory over here, loving the vibe, loving all the cool things you guys got going on. So make sure you come out. Let's make it happen.
Absolutely.
Buzz Factory.
All right. Thank you so much, Shaggy. This is a cool event, and it's only getting started. With all the stuff that we got going on, it's super cool to take a minute and step back and go, yeah, this is cool. We do stuff all over the country, and this is home for us. So anyway, I'll check in later with pipes and drums, Idaho Falls Fire Department. I'll fill you in on the correct designation of the pipes and drums as we get started, but I'm going to capture as much of that as I can, and hopefully it's not copyrighted material. I will find out, but I think it's mostly public domain. So we'll give you snippets of what they're doing. Nice. Are you kidding me? You know, the motto of the Buzz Factory is hold my beer and watch this.
The little blue ones are actually more important than the bullseye.
All right. Oh, that's worth. You get to work here next week.
How much is that worth?
Yeah.
You gotta pay for the paint.
It'll only take you a second to sneak up on that. Where's your husband? So you married an ex-murderer, huh? Oh! What? Get out of here.
Every single day, please make sure that hat leaves overflowing. We want to get another hat if we can. We're going to play one more. Let's get that hat filled up.
Oh, you want to do that? Well, good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Idaho Falls. Buzz Factory is going to open here in an hour or something like that. But we're back here on the shop site. Obviously, I got the Blazer here, and we got some really cool parts. It's the transmission cooling lines. I think I mentioned it in another video, or if you follow me on Instagram, you know, it was touch and go getting it here after I took it to the Salt Lake Airport. But it's got a huge transmission leak, and I'm hoping it's in the cooling lines. We're gonna find out. And then if that goes well, we'll change the oil and filter and do some investigating, a little detective work on what we're dealing with there. For the time being, you don't have to suffer through this. That last Blazer video was really hard to watch. You should really go back and watch it if you haven't already. But yeah, these are just each one upper, one lower transmission cooling line in here, and they were delivered to the house, and Brittany, I guess, grabbed it and just about sent it into orbit when she got hold of it, because they don't weigh nothing, but they look like some really fun parts, and they're not. I don't expect it to be fun at all, but I'm gonna try to be positive that I'm gonna get it done pretty quick. But I just drove it down from the house, so the cooling lines are really hot. So I'll just show you where we're at on the trophy, and we'll get that stuff wrapped up. So in the interest of time, I went ahead and painted this guy last night, and looks pretty good. And yes, again, I did use satin because it's what I had, but we'll definitely be hitting her with a gloss clear coat to seal the decals in. And these are the decals, so we'll get the hood and the roof. I think we're gonna go with this, the Crush Cup one. I'm gonna try that first. If not, we'll go with these. This is cool. It's a background that Tyler made for, you know, Tyler.
Burn it down!
Full boogie tilt.
Burn it down!
But he designed this background we're using, and we got another one that he did with all of our brands on it. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'll try to make a decal out of that. So that's what'll, these will go in the sides, roof, hood, tailgate, giving some love to Washington State Fair, because that's where the Crush Cup is gonna be. And then I came up with some quick, simple Crush Cup logos, but I printed these on white water slide decal paper, so I've actually got to go in and cut all of those out as careful as I can. So then we got our badges or emblems, whatever you want to call them, same deal. And I got the craft paint, and I got detail brushes because I kind of want to flood it in, but I don't want it so deep that it's not going to dry properly. But we'll have to let those dry plenty good and long before I go to painting on them. But again, the reason I went with a water base over an oil base is that I found that it's much easier to clean it off, and even if I had to lightly sand that just a smidgen, it should work. So we'll get started on that and see where we wind up from there. All right, so got my supplies here. All right, they were out of white at Walmart, so I got snow white. No idea what the difference is, but they had plenty of this. I got just a thin round detail brush. I watered it down a little to see if it'd flow, but it ain't. If you water this stuff down too much, it just doesn't do anything. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna get it really wet and run it in there. Again, the idea behind wanting to use a water base on this is because it is gonna have a clear coat. And being able to use water to wipe it off, or even glass cleaner instead of thinner, is gonna have much higher potential for success. But as wet as I'm having to get it to flow, it is gonna take a couple of coats at least. I'm gonna let them dry pretty darn good in between coats, but this stuff dries lightning fast. And then it's just damp. I don't want to actually put more water down into the letters, but that that's coat number 1. You get the idea. I'm gonna save us both some time and turn off the cameras, and I'll get this knocked out and touch base with you when we get ready to put on the decals. I got these cut out. I might have got a little overzealous. Might be a little too big, but I make these by just printing them out on water slide decal paper. And then you have to give them a oil-based clear coat so that it doesn't interact with the water. I'm gonna let that kind of soak in for a second and relax. And usually I use a product called Microset, followed by a product called Microsol, but I don't have any here. So we'll just have to see if we can make this work. I was very generous with the clear coat on this, so I like to keep a little water down so I can move them around a little bit. A little bit. Not that much. Well, it's not perfect, but it looked pretty good from a couple feet away. Still got some wrinkles that keep showing up here, so I'm just sitting here patting it down as it dries. Hopefully I can get it to stay down. I want to make sure all that water's evaporated before I clear coat it. But these stayed down really good. Obviously the tailgate stayed down good, but just all these bends and stuff, I'll have to remember that in the future about not trying to turn those corners, just doing flat surfaces, but I think it'll do. Well, watching that, I'm gonna put a final coat of white on the emblems and then let those dry super good, and then I better go start working on the blazer. I might let this stuff dry overnight and finish that in the morning. We'll see. You can see that's actually where the bracket goes on, so somebody smushed that pretty bad or something bounced up and hit it against it, but I'm surprised that it's been that long, but somebody's obviously been down there messing with it, but we're so close. But close. Made the call of shame for Brittany to come pick me up, so that's where we're at. But he's not looking so bad. Well, good morning. It's been several days since I vlogged. Went and did Jackson. It was fantastic. I got this super cool belt buckle. So good to see everybody. The most fun I've had at Jackson World Championship Snowmobile Hill Climb so far, and planning on doing it again. But we're working on the bar. I haven't had much of a chance to work on anything else with the golf hole or the trophy. Just wanted to check in really quick, but I'm not showing you how we're building the bar because we're just kind of making it up as we go, and we're in a pinch, so pulling a camera out, even shooting a time lapse or anything doesn't make that much sense. But cool part about it is we figured out how to make it just a big piece of furniture. So, and it's big, and it's the world's heaviest piece of furniture. Well, maybe not the world's, but anyway. But that's what we're working on, and probably the next shot is going to be getting back to the Crush Cup trophy. Well, we got the bar, I'm gonna call it 95% complete. But Skylar and I stayed here late, worked on it. We've been doing 12, I think was the least, 14, a couple of 16-hour days on it. But got that wrapped up, but I want to show you the struggles that I'm having with the Crush Cup. So I think that the whatever makes the red paint satin reacted. So I got this texture that I don't want on the truck. You can see the decals. It turned out pretty good. But I'm gonna try to sand around them, maybe get that texture off. These, if I sand it and it lets a little white through and it has a marble effect, I'm gonna leave it because that'd be cool. Otherwise, I'll be starting over altogether. These things have been curing now for about, I think, over a week. So whatever reaction happened should be done, I hope. But I'm starting with these because these are going to be easier to paint, so I don't have to paint around the decals or anything like that. I can recreate the process with something that'll work, or even 3D print some more, but looks like it's coming down. The big question is going to be, if I clear coat it again, is it going to react again? Was there enough clear to create a barrier? We're going to test it on these before we try it on that wheel. I think I got it scuffed down and smoothed out. That is definitely salvageable. But what I'm going to do, because it looks like I put a really light coat on the Live a Little badges, but I think what we're going to wind up doing is I'm going to take it home, I'm going to mask everything off, and then I'm going to hit it with a waterborne airbrush paint, and then clearing it. That should block any reactivity before I clear coat it again. I'm tempted to clear coat the whole thing and then scuff that and kind of use that as a primer, but I don't want it to react again. But it should be good enough. The biggest problem is they're expecting glamour shots of this in the very near future, so got to make that happen, and hopefully not have to Photoshop it. I mean, I'll get it right before we go, but the clock's ticking, so as that prolongs this video again, and the next time you see it, it will be done. Well, it's done. I'm back at home. Ran into a few problems with the Crush Cup trophy. The peeling paint didn't work out so good. I had to go back in. I did a little airbrush work, actually did a lot of this. I'm out here with the blue screen doing the glamour shots, which this is cool. I can make it do anything I want. Anyway, probably shouldn't have had a blue hat on doing that. Yeah, I ran into some trouble with the peeling paint and everything, and it's still not perfect, but didn't have any red paint here except airbrush paint, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do some details. You can see it, but I'm doing some beauty shots for the Crush Cup that we can use for marketing in the future. Hopefully this will be repeatable. But again, just to review everything that I used on this, the pistons and the rods, and then down here we have a planetary gear out of Cheap Shot Reloaded. And again, the badge, I ran into a little trouble, but I thought, you know what, we really need to get the Monster Truck Insanity 10-year anniversary logo on here. So this section right here is 3D printed. That's a water slide decal, clear coated on there, and it fits perfectly in there. But I did use the Live a Little badges right here on the back so that everybody will always know that this is Live a Little Entertainment Group. Not that the truck isn't marked up with that kind of stuff. And then the Crush Cup is actually, I 3D printed that, created a little bit of a logo around that, and then we have this little bitty flex plate. But the thing's got some heft, I'm not gonna lie. Before I get up at Odark 30 to head back over to Idaho Falls to mini golf hole, which hopefully comes up in the next video, and then Wednesday, today's Sunday, we had to Puyallup just outside of Seattle for the Washington State Fair, and I'll film what I can, but hopefully we'll get some shots of somebody receiving the Crush Cup, first ever, handmade by me. Did that sound cocky?
Your winner, Crush Cup champion, Brandon Swick and Gerard! show you what I got. So thank you guys so much.
Well, I got good news for you, Brandon. I think you have to come back next year now to defend the Crush Cup Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of O'Reilly Auto Parts and the Washington State Fair, title an amazing event.
While you were watching me build that, we've done one monster truck show here at Havasu 95 Speedway. Getting ready for the next one. Pit party is in full swing, and the wind is blowing pretty substantially, so you're probably listening to my AI voice, but that's the story of the Crush Cup, and hope you enjoyed it. I had a few other videos yet to come, but we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary. I'm going to try to do something for the Tremont Show and for Idaho Falls, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul. May the best of your past be the worst of your future.